Pixar has been the big name in animated films for decades now, but a decade ago, Alex Wu left the big name studio to start his own, Cuckoo Studios. After being a story artist for movies such as Ratatouille and Finding Dory, Wu has now delivered his first ever feature film, In Your Dreams, which he both co-directed and co-wrote with Eric Benson. In Your Dreams packs a stellar cast of voice actors, including Simu Liu, Kristen Milioti, and Craig Robinson, yet it's the brother and sister at the center of the story who this story is about. So does Alex Wu succeed? He definitely does, because In Your Dreams deserves to be held up with the best of what other animation studios have done, and as one of the most visually stunning, funniest, and beautifully touching films of the year, Cuckoo Studios and Alex Wu are here to stay.
What is In Your Dreams about?
In Your Dreams starts out in the past in a small, cozy home in Minnesota, where the nameless mom and dad are raising their 4-year-old daughter Stevie. It's a happy life, with mornings making breakfast together and lots of laughs, yet some disaster is about to strike. Thankfully, this isn't a tearjerker where one of the parents must die. Instead, what happens is much worse. Stevie gets a brother. We then fast forward several years, with Stevie now having hit her teen years, but who has time to daydream about boys when your home is so small that you have to share a room with your now elementary school-aged brother Elliot? An age gap and too close proximity cause some bickering, especially with Elliot's wild energy and imagination, because he's not only a wannabe magician, and he's also learned that his sense of humor can get under his sister's skin. Still, they mostly get along and are not at odds. The drama is found in a growing Stevie now being able to take off the rose-colored glasses of childhood and starting to see things as they are, which causes her to notice that mom and dad are drifting apart, with mom talking about taking a teaching job in Duluth and dad not sure if he wants to move. Then, in the basement of a thrift shop, Stevie and Elliot discover a mysterious book called The Legend of the Sandman. Its pages speak of being transported to a world where the Sandman can make your dreams come true. Desperate to keep her family together, Stevie gives in, and with Elliot tagging along, they're on a fantasy adventure through their sleeping dreams that's both whimsical and, at times, terrifying, and not always what it seems to be.
The sibling relationship of In Your Dreams carries the film.
Simu Liu and Kristen Milioti are the big names of In Your Dreams. However, we stay mostly on the margins of their relationship, mainly seeing them as Stevie does, or as she hears them through the walls at night. They're wisely not presented as an angry husband and wife yelling at each other, but as a quiet and sad couple who are shown to still love each other very much, that also know they are drifting apart and wanting different things. Liu and Milioti fill these roles well, as a realistic partnership that's not exploding, but slowly fading away. Yet, In Your Dreams belongs to Stevie and Elliot, a brother and sister who could have been written to be at each other's throats, and even though they do pick on each other at times, In Your Dreams is about bringing them closer together. The first act is a great build, especially for Elliot, who might play second fiddle in a plot that's more focused on Stevie, but Elias Jansen nails every line and is absolutely hilarious without feeling forced. Then comes the shift to the second act, where the real world is left behind for one of dreams and endless possibilities. It's here that In Your Dreams could have lost its way and failed its premise, but it only gets stronger. A lot of this is due to the introduction of Craig Robinson as Elliot's stuffed animal, a one-eyed, smelly giraffe named Baloney Tony. There are moments when he gets way too close to becoming Eddie Murphy's donkey from Shrek, but Wu wisely pulls back and doesn't let him become the source of all comedy. Baloney Tony is funny, with Robinson's voice acting well-suited for the part, and he's also given a sweet arc as the toy Elliot needs to feel secure. What really pushes In Your Dreams forward at the halfway mark is the remarkable animation of a surreal dream world, where food speaks and walks around like a non-raunchy sausage party, and our trio have to fight off scary nightmare forces who don't want them to reach the Sandman for some reason.
In Your Dreams is heartwarming without being too predictable. In Your Dreams isn't the first family film to deal with the topic of a possible divorce seen through a child's eyes, and it won't be the last, yet this is no paint-by-numbers affair. Much of that comes from Wu's writing, who wrote the screenplay based on his childhood growing up with a brother and getting closer to him as their parents drifted apart. Instead of tropes, we get an actualized world where character growth and a strong plot that handles its heavy topics with care, finding just the right balance without getting too serious. Even though In Your Dreams is targeted toward kids, you might think you know where the film is going. However, In Your Dreams has several twists that even adults won't figure out, which make perfect sense as they play out. Even when Stevie and Elliot reach the Sandman, Wood and Benson still have a lot up their sleeves. Whether you're a kid the same age as those in the action or an adult who never lost their love for animation, In Your Dreams will impress and help to keep your belief of the magic found in movies alive. If you can, see it in theaters to fully appreciate the artistry. But if you watch it at home on Netflix, put down your phone, pull up close to the screen, immerse yourself in the details, and get lost in the story. It's a dream. In Your Dreams is now playing in theaters in limited release and comes to Netflix on November 14.